Yeah.
Awesome. So I've just started recording. I hope everyone's okay with that. And if everyone would please just mute their mics, just so that the screen stays on the presentation that I'm going to be showing everybody. I'm going to share my screen quickly. Can everybody see my screen? Yeah. It should be the Canva basics slide. Yes. Okay, cool. Awesome. So thanks for joining everybody today. We're just going to be going over a very basic introduction to Canva and basically how it can help you market your different products. It's just quickly loading. Cool. So yeah, it's just a basic introduction to Canva and how it can work for you. It's one of the best things about Canva is that you can completely customize it to whatever your product is or whatever your brand is. So whether you are a fashion designer or whether you're a potter or whether you are a painter, it can be really useful. So if you've never heard of Canva, basically, and this is the internet's wonderful definition of it, Canva is a graphic design platform that allows users to create social media graphics, presentations, posters, and other visual content. So you can either use it on the website, like on the internet as a normal website, or you can download the app to your phone and create stuff on the fly, while you're transporting yourself to work or to a client meeting or whenever it suits you, which is what makes it really nifty as well. And it integrates millions of images, fonts, templates, and illustrations. So as creatives, it doesn't, just because you may be good at painting or you may be good at some other craft, doesn't necessarily mean you're really good at design in terms of creating content to advertise your brand. So this is where Canva comes in. So you can use the strengths of your creativity within certain templates and within certain, basically templates that you can then tweak to add your own personal flavor and flair. So basically, Canva has templates. That's the gist of it. And these can be used for not just social media, which is what I'm going to focus on today, but you can use it for personal. So you can have invitations. You can design wedding invitations on there. You can design business cards on Canva. You can design Zoom backgrounds. And then, of course, you can also design social media posts. And what's so lovely about Canva is that the templates come in the sizes that are needed. So sometimes you'll design a picture for Instagram, and then you want to share the same picture to Twitter, and the dimensions are completely off and it doesn't fit nicely at all. So that's one of the best parts about Canva, and I'm going to quickly show you. I hope you can still see my screen. When you log in, this is basically what it looks like. And you've got your templates here, and you can see from the drop down, we've got social media. You can design an Instagram story, an Instagram post, a Facebook cover picture, a Twitter post, a Pinterest graphic, all the way to your personal invitations, resumes, t-shirts. So there's a business, you can do your website, you can do your logo. So there's so many things. People design ebooks on Canva. They design, like I said, wedding invitations. It's got so many templates that you can use for your brand, and whether you're hosting an exhibition or whether you're trying to advertise a product, can be really, really useful. Today I'm going to focus mostly, the example that I'm going to give you is going to be on social media, just because that's how Artisanry uses Canva mostly. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick glimpse, in case you're unfamiliar with Canva, into how it looks. Basically, it shows you the different templates that you can choose from, and you take it from there. So creating content, do you want to say something, Pavna? No, oh, okay, sorry, I thought you were trying to get my attention. So creating the content is even easier than the app makes it think, which is so amazing. It's very much a drag and drop kind of process. Once you get used to it, and once you get used to how easy it is, you keep on thinking it's trying to trick you, but it's actually not. Then you can really use it nicely. So the first thing you want to do is you want to pick a template. So let's just say we're going to create an Instagram post. So I'll go to my templates, I'll go to Instagram, I'll click on Instagram post, and it will give me a whole bunch of templates to choose from. If you don't want to choose a template in the moment, you can choose a blank template and see how you can play with the various elements that come up. So Sorry, it just always is a little bit slow when I'm sharing my screen. But you can see there's a whole bunch of different templates here that you can copy or duplicate and then just drag and drop your own personal content into that. So I've set up a little template here. It's an untitled design. And let's just say I want to create something. I can select from a photo. I really should have downloaded a photo first. Okay, here's my dad and here's my family back home. I'm from the Eastern Cape. I mean, they're all in the Eastern Cape and I'm in Cape Town. So we're going to create a nice little Instagram post. Let's just say that I'm advertising my family because I want to replace them. So I'm going to download that. And then here, let's see, should we choose this nice picture here? Right, so you can see here I've chosen a template, I've selected templates, and this is now going to be my base that I'm going to work off of. So the first thing to do is pick your template. The next thing I'm going to do is upload my content. So let's say you've taken some really awesome pictures of your artwork or your product that you want to sell. You come here, you go upload. And we're literally just going to drag and drop our content in there. And then once it's uploaded in there, we literally just drag it and drop it into the spot where we want it to be replaced. And already it's a lot more personal and already it's a lot more me. But now I really like the squiggles, but I just don't like the color. So then you're going to go ahead and you're going to customize it to do exactly what you want. Change the text, family for sale. That's a bit big, so I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. There we go. And let's just say I want to add a nice little graphic. I'm going to say cat. Let's just say my cat didn't make it into the picture. You can then put a cat in there as well. Add a little cat in the picture. So you can drag and drop and customize and kind of just create your own image. You can also completely remove something. Let's just say that's not really my look and feel. So then I can remove that. And maybe I want to move that up a little bit over there and move the cat down a little bit. So I've taken the Canva template and I've kind of customized it and I've tweaked it. And this is a very bad example, but you can see what you can produce within a very short amount of time simply by taking what they offer you and just customizing it in various ways. So as I mentioned, you upload your own personal content and you can drag and drop different images, different text, you can move things around and you can add certain elements and graphics and squares and different shapes. And then from there, you can customize it to make it more you. So you can change the font, you can change the color, you can replace the images. And then once you're happy with your final picture, you can see it's named over here. So I'm going to actually rename it. I'm going to say draft 1, because let's say I want to share it with my business partners. So I want to double check with them what they think about it. And then I download it. I can choose it as a PNG or JPEG or whatever the case may be. And that's the basic overview of how to create content. But that's not all that Canva offers you, which is what makes it even more great. It also allows you to share and collaborate with people. So you can collaborate and add members to your team. So whether you've got an intern working for you, whether you've got partners that are working on a brand, or whether you just want someone's second opinion on it, you can actually invite them to your Canva account and together you can work on certain projects and make updates and changes and even leave comments sometimes. Another thing that it allows you to do is to share directly to social media. So for example, if I wanted to post this to my Facebook page, I don't need to download it, save it to my desktop, and then upload it to Facebook. I can just go share over here. Oh, sorry. So this is to share to see if somebody else wants to edit it. But I can also go over here, share to a Facebook page, or to Twitter, or to LinkedIn, or whatever platform that I want. And then I can choose the Facebook page that I want to share it to. I'm not really going to share it, don't worry, Pamela. And then I can write my little blurb here, XYZ, and then publish. And then it shoots it straight to Facebook. So I can do everything from within the app, which is super nifty. So that's what makes it even better than just being able to create content. You can also collaborate and you can also share to your social media platforms. And then the fifth the last point that I just want to discuss, which is a real perk of Canva, is that it serves as a library or a cloud storage of sorts. So what we do for Artisanry is there's a couple of us that actually work on Canva at any given time. And if Pavna ever wants to see what are we working on, she can go into Canva and all of the work that we've created has been saved there. So you can see here, this is our profile. If we want to go to all our designs, everything that we've ever created is in here for us to have a look at and to duplicate and to use as a template for future use or to tweak a little bit. So it's a really great online storage and library for future use. And if, for example, you've had a certain image that has done really well, you can reuse it again in the future simply by duplicating it and tweaking it a little bit. So in that way, it serves as a bit of a template. Obviously, it makes it quite important to name your designs properly so that you know exactly what you're working on. Otherwise, it's a copy of a copy of a copy, which can get quite confusing. So yeah, that's a very broad strokes of Canva. And seeing as we're such an intimate group today, I thought maybe we could ask any questions. If anybody has any specific questions that they have about Canva, maybe you've been trying to figure it out, and you've come across a stumbling block or something. Or if any of these, if you want me to elaborate on anything that's already been mentioned in the presentation.
I think, Candice, one thing that I thought you could talk about is the watermark that you talked about on Pinterest that we use. And I think on Pinterest we had said we use Canva. And one of the concerns everybody had raised was that it's usually a platform that gets photographs stolen from or plagiarized. Yeah. So just as an example.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so as you can see, so you guys are getting a sneak peek into our future content on our social media platforms because we haven't posted these yet. But this is our Pinterest that we've prepped for tomorrow. And it's Constantine's paintings, and we don't really want people, so people are concerned about posting to Pinterest saying people are going to steal the content and then, there's copyright issues. And we kind of discussed about how you're always risking copyright when you put your content out there, because if people like it, they're going to share it. But if you are a little bit nervous and you want to be a little bit safer, you can see what we've done here is we've added the Artisanry logo on top of his image here. And all that we did by doing that was we did a blank template for Pinterest. We uploaded the Artisanry logo. And it's all the way at the bottom now. But basically, we uploaded a PNG, and it serves as a watermark, essentially, for this now. Because
just use one of the blank ones to show the steps for it. We've got a few minutes.
So here's, I've added a new page here. And let's say we're going to do Rachel's Lovely Pottery. So we drag and drop, literally, from my uploads. There's my upload library. Drag and drop. And I want to make sure that I add a watermark. And it should be here somewhere.
I think it's right at the very bottom.
Yeah. Oh, so while I'm scrolling, there is the option to upload to Pro for Canva. And if you ever see that, basically what that means is that you have more storage. So as you can see, we've uploaded a lot of images. So we're actually exploring the benefits of Pro because we've got so much content in here. We don't want to delete anything because, like I said, it serves as a library, but it does take up a lot of space, and you've only got a limited amount of space. Okay, so here's the image, and I drag and I drop it over there. Actually, the white one doesn't look so good, so I'm going to go with the black one. There we go. And it's a little bit too bold, perhaps, maybe for the rest of the image, which is quite soft. So I can come to transparency here, and I bring it down a little bit so it's a little bit more subtle. And that way, if anybody wants to reuse this image, it's already got the watermark in it. Let's put it on that side. And I think, yeah, and then we can add some text. We're going to say, add a subheading, and we're going to say, Art by Rachel in the Dales. That's not really our font because it's not according to our brand. So then we'll change the font to something that is a little bit more our brand, make it a little bit smaller so it fits nicely, and then just drag it to wherever we want it to go. And so it's very much just playing around. You can still use your creativity, but you're kind of prompted a little bit, I suppose, guided by the different features available. And let's just say you're really on a roll and you want to add a border. So you go to elements, and instead of just scrolling and wasting time, you can just type in there border, search, and you have a whole bunch of borders to choose from that come up. Some of them you'll notice are only available to people that are on Pro. So that's the other perk of going up to Pro. You get more space and you get access to more images. But you can also upload a border that you find on Google and upload it to your uploads and drag and drop that onto your design. So let's just say we want to, these are all Pro now. Oh, well. Oh, wait, we are Pro, I think. So that's fine. Yeah, so we can drag and we can just make this border a little bit more, oh well. Of course, I'm not going to choose the right border now. Hey, it's going to make funny. But anyway, you get the idea. So you can then drag and drop and make it fix. And let's just say we don't like this color. We can even change the color to blue. There we go. Beautiful Pinterest picture. Not really, but let's change that. But yeah, so this is how I would add a watermark onto an artwork. Maybe if you wanted the Artisanry logo to be bigger, you could make it cover the entire graphic, even if you wanted to. See, now the border's in the front, so we're going to go and we're going to send it to the back. Cancel. Right click. Thanks, Ems.
Or
Normally, yeah. Okay, well, I think it's just delayed a little bit because of the zoom. There we go. So you can move your border to the back as well. So that's the kind of thing that you can do. And this is also obviously not using a template. Whereas if you use a template, it's a lot more, you can literally find the perfect kind of style that you want and just drag your content into it and replace it with your content.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Is it, you've talked about doing sort of fancy things, but is it as good as Photoshop for editing the actual picture?
Not really. So Canva is more of a graphic design in terms of putting things together. Whereas if you want to change the light or the dark of something, so, I mean, you can do it. So I'm just going to remove this border because it's irritating me. But if I select this picture, you can see I can add effects. I can add a filter, but this isn't what it's not really what it's known for. It's as much as you would be able to edit, for example, on Instagram, or you can crop it and you can adjust it and you can maybe flip it vertically and make it upside down. Yeah. But Photoshop is definitely a much better tool for editing photos if you want to go.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I ask?
Yeah.
Did you start off? Obviously, I've just signed up for the free part of it at the moment. I did see that you can pay yearly, monthly, which must be the pro. With the licensing side of things, I take it, I mean, it's one that I've just been experimenting with social media because, to be honest, I thought that's all it was actually for originally, just to be able to do for all your social media posts, which is fantastic. But obviously I've seen that you can do posters and greeting cards and things like that. So licensing, because some software things you use that you can produce things, but you cannot then print them and sell them commercially. Do you see what I mean? There are certain, in the past, there have been things like that. Because my previous career, I was a fashion photographer at one point, so I did lots of printing, and there's certain elements I couldn't use because if I used that software to do my lookbooks, technically I couldn't print them because they were for commercial reasons. So I noticed on there you had posters and greeting cards, blah blah blah. So I take that, is that allowed to, you can design just for your personal use, or can you design and then have them you can sell them as a commercial entity?
You can totally sell them as a commercial entity. So everything that is on Canva in the library that they give you, so any of the pictures that they provide, or the squiggles or the elements or the pretty flowers in the background, unless if it's so those are all free to use. You can totally do whatever you want with them. Sometimes you may find an amazing template with the perfect palm leaf as a watermark in the background, and that will have a Canva watermark on it because it's only available to Pro. So if you upgrade to Pro, you have bought the license, or you've bought the rights to then use that image in whatever you want. But you can do so much with the free version. I don't think you need to do Pro unless you actually really have got a lot of content that you want to store, or if you really love the photographs, because they have photographs as well that you can choose from. So unless you have they have really nice photographs or elements that you really want. But most of the time you can find similar photographs and elements on the internet and upload them into your upload section. So
basically, even the free area we can use, it's still licensed for us to be able to use it commercially to sell. As far as I'm aware, yes. That's I couldn't. Okay, because I couldn't see anything to say you couldn't. Do you know what I mean? I didn't see anything that said you could, but I didn't see anything that said you couldn't either. And just one very, very quick thing with the watermark, it's best to have it in a PNG. Did you say?
So the thing about a PNG is it allows you to have a transparent background.
Right.
So if you have your logo and it's on a JPEG and it's got a white background, that white is going to show up when you put it on there. So PNG allows you to have a transparent background so that it can just look like a stencil, so to speak, on the main image that you want to edit.
Excellent, thank you.
Any other questions?
Nancy, have you ever used this app ever?
No, I haven't. I've looked at it, but as all I actually really wanted was just an alternative to Photoshop, or I was just looking at alternatives to Photoshop. So I was looking at it more from the editing side. But as you say, Photoshop is as good as it gets, really. So I just, I didn't think about it any further because I wasn't doing anything fancy with any social media, because I'm only on Facebook. I don't do anything else.
You could even use this for Facebook covers and stuff like that, to make your Facebook page stand. Like you can see here, there's really nice Facebook cover templates to make your page stand out a little bit more. But if you're looking for an alternative to photo editing, obviously there's also Lightroom, which is part of the Adobe suite. But there's another thing called Snapseed. Really nice. Visco obviously is really nice as well. So there are quite a few nice little photo editing apps. But Lightroom and Photoshop allows you to be a little bit more in depth.
I think what Canva does is to give your work almost a consistency and brings that brand, that image together. So Photoshop, it's almost like a two-step process. You edit it on Photoshop and then you use Canva to post it and to design around it. And I think when you're selling online, that part is extremely important, how your customer sees your photograph, because they don't have the ability to touch and feel. So it's all dependent on how you can present it. And I think that's where a lot of makers actually don't get it right. Fantastic product, but if you cannot make it look the best it can online, it's not going to do very much, and you're only going to sell within family and friend circle. If you want to step out of that comfort zone and be able to sell, then these are things, or these are apps that have to be used. I mean, there might be a different one to Canva, but to bring that consistency in your work, it's really, really important to have that. How about you, Leslie? Have you used this ever before? I'm conscious we're a minute over, so we'll close quickly, but
No, I've never used it. No. It's just, I still just use photographs at the moment, but I'd like to experiment a bit more and improve my view. At the moment, I'm trying to get more out there, because basically I just have either old customers and neighbors, friends, etc. Following me. I mean, I have a good following and it's slowly increasing, but it's I just feel I can make it a bit more professional if I use something like this.
Yeah, that's the right word. It makes it look more professional. And I think as an small independent maker, it just makes you stand out in the crowd from that point of view. So really, really key in any case. Brilliant. It was really good. We're thinking of new topics to take in the next few weeks and months. So please drop us a note if there's anything that tickles your fancy you would want to know a little bit more about. There's a lot more training content available on our YouTube channel as well, things that we've done in the past. Leslie, you might want to have a look at it if that's your, if you're looking to become a little bit more professional about it. But have a chat with me away from the call as well, and maybe I can look at some ways we can help you with it. So yeah, that would be great as well. Rachel, I hope you got something out of it.
Yes, I did. The company I work for, we have a graphic designer, so he uses sort of other Photoshop and things like that. But for me, it means that I can put together some content without having to use him all the time. So social media platforms like that, I'd feel more confident using those, knowing that they were the right sizes and things. So no, that's really, really interesting. Thank you.
How about you, Caroline? I hope you found it useful as well.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant because they say you're talking about promoting yourself a bit more. I mean, obviously I come from a fashion background anyway, so that element I can do. It's just putting together, like for my website. The good thing about what it seems to be with Canva is how I've set up my website, I can use those colours to go into my social media. Do you see what I mean? So main design's my website, obviously. And so all the colours and the fonts and stuff I've used in there. At the moment, I've just been doing what I can in social media, but I can actually virtually match my website to all my social media. So literally you get it's a line of everything matching. And then it's my business, it's my designs. So yeah, so
if you're an independent maker, Caroline, by all means get in touch with us away from the call and see, happy to have a chat and see what we can do for you as well.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah,
brilliant. I think Candice, back to you. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
And thanks, Candice, for hosting the coffee as well.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Yes, bye-bye.